starts with breaking news.
Breaking new exclusive video into our newsroom tonight as authorities arrest the man accused of making threats to a school and the family of Governor Jim Pillen. Video here taken exclusively by our Mike McKnight at 45th and Bedford shows 32-year-old Ean Halstead as he's been taken into custody for terrorist threats and destruction of evidence. We just received confirmation in the last hour that he has been booked into the Douglas County Jail. Now, late last month, the Nebraska State Patrol says investigators were alerted by officials with Columbus Catholic Schools about a threatening message received through the school website. According to NSP, the message included violence to both the school and the governor's family. Troopers then found the IP address tied to the website. Comment came from Omaha. Now, after trying to make contact at the apartment, the State Patrol says the man, who we later learned was Halstead, refused commands, ran to the apartment, and barricaded himself. Eventually, authorities arrested him for obstructing a police officer and failure to obey a lawful order. Investigators then found several electronics during the search, which linked Halstead to the threatening message sent to Columbus Catholic Schools. Now that leads us back to today, where our Investigates team was there to get exclusive video of authorities executing another arrest warrant for Halstead. He was booked tonight after being medically cleared at the hospital.